palm reading of a 33-year-old lady. We are reading her hand, and I would talk about the important points on her palm from my perspective. See, generally, everybody wants to know about money, possessions, wealth. These are the main priority everybody has, but there could be other things also important on the hand apart from these particular things as well. See, normally what people want to know about is regarding money, possessions, wealth, and the family life and health, and how their life, happiness, and all these things they want to know about. So the first line that I would talk about is this particular line. This is the heart line. The heart line is the line of relationship. This is the line of partnership, and this is also the line of uh, I try to correlate with your profession as well. See, normally when we look at the heartline, we generally think that it is going to be only regarding your love life. The heart, when we talk about the heartline, we are talking about the physical heart and the condition of the physical heart. See, some people, every person has got stress and anxiety in their life. Some people are able to manage it, and some people are not able to manage that stress and anxiety in their life. So, when I take a look at this, a simple line is always better than a complicated kind of a line. So, what I find out here is that this particular heart line is something like it has got island like formations. These are island, I like formations. So, we call it island, and it is a little bit of an unclear kind of a line, and it has got few branches over it. These are branches hanging, then again probably there's an island, and at the same time it is also very long as well. And apart from being long, it is also leaning downwards towards the headline. This is the headline, so it is leaning downwards. So normally what happens is that the heart line kind of leans upward towards the fingers, leaning upward towards the finger. Leaning upward towards the finger is always better than leaning downwards. Okay, so I would explain the meaning of what basically I'm trying to convey. The first thing is that when the heart line is very, very long, reaching somewhere till the Mount of Jupiter. Now, Mount of Jupiter is for idealism and sensitivity. So, such a person, when the line is long, the person becomes very sensitive, very idealistic, and the person would have higher expectations from the relationship. And the person is very touchy. So, it is basically said that people who are touchy about things, people who are very idealistic and sensitive, they are inviting trouble in their life because they are likely to get hurt more easily. So she is likely to get hurt more easily, and so it is always better. See, idealism is okay, but you have to be realistic. So if the heart line was kind of ending somewhere out here under the second finger is the finger of Saturn, and Saturn is basically for money management, being materialistic, being realistic, being grounded, knowing the ground situations well. That's what basically it is, and that's what we should be. See, nobody basically and those people are the ones who are likely to make more money when the heart line ends out here instead of ending on the Mount of Jupiter. So this is a wrong indication to have. See, what happens is that most businessmen, people who make money either in service or business, they would have their heartline end under the Mount of Saturn. It is because they are valuing money, they are respecting money, and they are praying for money. But when the heartline ends on the Jupiter, what happens is that they go in the idealism mode. Let's take two doctors, just for explanation purpose. I'm just explaining to you. One is a materialistic doctor, and the other is an idealistic doctor. So, in the idealistic and sensitive doctor, if a patient comes to them and they say, I don't have money, they would still see that particular patient. And materialistic doctor would never ever see without taking money. So, so these materialistic doctors are likely to make more money compared to the idealistic doctor. And the patients who get their session for free, they would repeatedly go to such doctors, and they would say that doctor is very good and this and that. So more patients are going to come, more free patients are going to get attracted to the idealistic doctor. So you have to be basically taking rewards for the services that you that you give, and it is always better to ask for your rewards. There's nothing wrong with it. The second thing is when we find that there's an island-like formation. Island-like formation or the heartline is a little bit unclear. What it basically means that we have there's lack of clarity in our heart. What we basically want in our life. It could be either in the form of relationship or partnership, or it could also be in terms of what we want to do in our life. Uh, so this is what it basically means. An island on the heartline. See, what is an island? Try to understand. Island is something like this is the ocean, and in the ocean there's a small island. So island, basically, we all want to go to island, but the thing is that if you are left on the island, you are likely to feel isolated. So island on any particular line would bring in isolation, and island on the heartline would mean emotional isolation. So this is a negative sign, but it could mean something else as well. So island on the heartline could also mean elongated period of emotional stress and anxiety. It could also mean something to do with the heart and the eyes. If there are islands out here specifically under the sun finger, then basically it could mean heart or eye related issues. But it's not that every person would have these things, but I'm just giving an indication. These are just indicative. If you have got very small nail, I've not seen your nails, but if you have really small nails, then probably the probability of heart related issues may increase. So heart related issues, so this is what it basically means. And at the same time, the whole heart line is kind of leaning downwards and touching the headline. The meaning of this is basically means, imagine a situation that this is your physical heart, and there's a rope that is hanging downwards, and with gravity it is being pulled downwards. So heart is being pulled downwards. So heart line leaning downwards means that that misplaced affections are likely to be there. Misplaced affections basically mean being affectionate to somebody who is not worth your affection. What it basically means is giving your time, energy, effort to people who are not worth like giving your affections to. So you have to be extremely selective whom you give your affections to. These branches on the heartline could mean distractions, falling for temptations, and losing our focus and not being able to dedicate ourselves completely to one and only one thing. I'm not very sure if there appears to be a break. If there's a break out here, so probably it could mean something like an abrupt ending in a relationship or a partnership. Those things could also be indicated by this particular heart line. Now, looking at the other aspect, what we find is that this is basically the lifeline. This is the lifeline, and it is kind of ending at an early stage. But I've seen a very famous person. You must have, I don't know if you've heard or not. There's a famous Indian actor. His name is Shah Rukh Khan, and even he has something like this. His lifeline is ending out here, and then another one is starting. Another one is kind of starting uh, starting from here. So even he had a line that is kind of ending somewhere out here, and another one is kind of encircling. Now, there's a confusion. Should we consider this particular line to be the lifeline, or it could be something else as well? See, normally, this kind of a line is something like the money line, but I'm not very sure should I consider it to be the money line or the lifeline. But I think it appears to be a lifeline, another lifeline. The ending of the lifeline is not considered to be good, something like this, because at this particular point, the age is approximately, roughly, let's say 40. But the line that is encircling something like this could also be considered the lifeline. If this is the lifeline, then it is considered to be a very good sign. The reason being, let us basically I'm just removing so that I can explain to you in another way. Imagine this particular line, the lifeline, continues something like this. So the lifeline encircles two planets. It is the area of Mars and the area of Venus. They both represent something or the other. The first, Mars, basically is the red planet. Red means anger, aggression, and fire, and the anger and the aggression within us. And Venus is basically the energy, the stamina, the vitality, and the desires, and the beauty and the grace within us. The bigger the semicircle, the better it is considered to be. So what is happening out here is that uh, the line is kind of ending out here, and another one is encircling overlapping the original line. So what happens is that in the initial phase, the area is only limited till here, but once it expands, so the more area comes out here, under the planet of Mars, and more area comes under the area of Venus. So what basically it means is more energy, more stamina, more vitality coming suddenly in their life. So this is what it means, and more fire coming into their life. Now, fire can be positive as well as negative, but this particular overlapping is always considered to be a very, very excellent sign. And the second indication is, I'm just going to darken the image a little bit so that probably I can see the image much more clearly. So I've just darkened the image, and me just so what I also see is that this is the lifeline, and this is the second line. Now, if this is the line and it is kind of pointing towards the mount of Saturn, so what happens is that in your life, more Saturnian qualities kind of enter, and Saturn is all about money. So probably at this particular point, more better possibilities arise, and this age could be approximately after the age of 35. This is just an approximate that I'm giving you. This is what it is. Apart from that, if we look at the lifeline, this is the lifeline, and you would notice that on the lifeline also the lines are a little bit unclear out here. Island-like formation. Island on the lifeline means maybe health-related issues. Those things can be repaired. An elongated period of health-related issues. It is showing up on the lifeline as well as the heartline. So both these things can be clubbed together to some extent. The other aspect that I find is towards the end, what we find that it is leaning a little bit outward. Normally the lifeline encircles, but it is leaning a little bit outwards and pointing towards the area of Mount of Moon. Now, Moon basically affects the effect of Moon can be seen on the Earth in the ocean. The tides are there, so lifeline moving towards the area of Moon probably could mean restlessness. See, the phases of Moon changes on a daily basis, so something it has to do with something changeability that the person wants to experience, or maybe world travel, something like this. If they have money, they would travel. If they don't, probably they won't. But this basically means restlessness, and sometimes it could affect the lower portion of the body below the lungs area, something related to water, because the lifeline is moving a little bit towards the area of Mount of Moon. So this is what I can see out here. Now, if we take a look at the money line and the sun line, money line is the line of money, and this it starts somewhere at this particular point. If we don't consider this line to be the money line, then probably this new line basically starts around the age of 31 or so, but it's not very, very strong. And after the age of 35, this point is 35 to the age of 47, 48. Another line is kind of running parallel, but that's very weak. Another line starts at the age of 48. Then another line starts at the age of 53. So this is what I can basically make out. There are a few changes that the person may experience at the age of 53, as well as before the age of 53 as well. And that is somewhere around the age of 48 and somewhere close to the age of 35 as well. So these are the major changes that the person may experience. The line is much more clearer after the age of 53. Apart from that, we look also at the sunlight. This appears to be the sun. This portion is very, very weak, very, very dull, very, very unclear kind of a line. So this is the early portion of your life, and till it reaches the heart line, it is very dim and unclear. Dim and unclear life sunline basically signifies doubts and self-doubt. It is something like this is sun, and this is Earth, and there's lots of smoke in the middle. So the sun rays are not able to penetrate and reach the Earth. So the trees on the Earth are not going to grow fast. So to grow trees fast, you need good sunlight. So what it basically means is when the lines are unclear, it means lack of clarity. You are unable to see your path, the path you are traveling on, and you can't basically, and you are doubting and self-doubting. But just after the age of 53, this is what we see, that the line is excellent, super excellent, and it basically means success. See what I've seen. First, I told you what the book is saying. Let's take a hypothetical line, something like this. Book says this point is age 31, this is 33, 35, 44, 53, and this is 53 and beyond, this portion. But practically, I've seen that if you have a good sunline somewhere out here, basically it signifies the whole life and not necessarily only after the age of 53. So this is my conclusion. I find a good sunline out here, I would basically say it for the whole life and not just for 1 or 2 years. Even now the person may be successful, so in that way it is good. Sometimes this dim and dull lines can be negated by being in the right company, because the right company basically, they have they may be having a singular purpose, and they are very clear as to what path they want to travel on. So if you basically kind of you are near to those people, the likelihood is that you would be more successful, because the path is being shown by the others to you. So that's what I would say. One more thing is that the hard time, when it is long, if these people give money to somebody else, they may not get their money back, uh, because they wouldn't be unable to ask their money back from those people. So they have to be very, very careful whom they associate with, whom they give their money to, whom basically they love. So that's very, very important in life. Now we look at the Mercury line as well. So this is the area that we are referring to. Mercury lines are very, very important line. Mercury is the area of calculations and communication, and this is the area of your skills. And if you have got good lines under it, these are the lines that we are referring to. It basically signifies success. The reason the person is going to be successful is because when there are deep and dark lines, it means that the person is trying to master their skill. The deeper the line, the more the effort is being put to master the skill. The weaker lines can be ignored. That could mean just few skills that the person has not mastered to a great extent. So this is what I can say. And people who, see, I'm just showing the wrong indications as well. If a person has got these kind crisscrossing kind of lines, the person would miscalculate and miscommunicate. But in this particular person says, we do find that there are only perpendicular lines. I think probably the quality of the image is not the best, but I think they are appearing to be more of perpendicular lines. In this hand, we do see perpendicular, and some of the lines are being cut. So these are to some extent a little bit negative, but they may not be so prominent as they are appearing to be in this particular image, because on the other image, they are not appearing to be present at all. So this is what we see out here. So right hand. You must also be wondering why I've taken a look at the right hand. Normally, it is said we should look at the left hand for females, but the thing is that in working woman's hand, I normally give more importance to the right hand. And a woman who is not working at all and not just going out from the house, that's when basically we consider the left hand only. So these days, every woman is going out. So that's the reason I have given more importance to the right hand. But the second scenario is that our both hands do show similarity. It doesn't matter if we read the left hand or the right hand, it doesn't matter much. If both hands are showing similarity, so any hand you read, it's all okay. Basically, it doesn't matter much. And in this case, also similar kind of indications can be seen on the heart line. Heart line is a little bit unclear. There appears to be a few breakout here. The line is very long. So same kind of indications. The lifeline also is unclear at the same point in the early stages of one's life before the age of 35 or so, and the line kind of ends again and another one is overlapping. So same indications. There's no major difference that we can see out here. The money line kind of uh, stops out here at the age of, let's say, 30. Another one starts. Then again, there are a few changes at the age of 35, 30, 37. Another one starts at the age of 38, and that basically continues. See, for family life also, a good stable money line is very, very important, because stable money line basically kind of guarantees a perfect basically kind of life in all aspects, because money can buy everything. So money, if you have money, then you can also solve all the problems. So sometimes when there are breaks on the money line, then it could mean some issues that may come up in the life. Issue can be something like job loss, work loss, business loss, the first thing. Second thing could be the main earning member of the family, their health or wealth goes down. The third thing could be one's personal life can get disturbed even due to a break on the money line. So money line does play a major role in our life, and but money line can't tell everything regarding the money aspect as well. And money line kind of originates and on the mount of moon. Moon is the area for travel. Moon is basically the area for trading activity and service industry. It is also the area for public appreciation. So person basically earns from that. Moon is also the area of water, so or white colored things. So that's where the person earns from. So this is what I can basically see on this particular hand. Lastly, I will just go to this hand image, and I would kind of end the video out here and continue the conversation with you. If we look at the three sections of the fingers, the top section appears to be a little bit longer than the second and the third. The first section is the area for like the head, the mental stimulation. The second is the area of physical and practical. And the third is bhogi. In Hindi, we say bhogi. Bhogi means user of things. Like they just love to eat and good clothes and all these kind of things. So different people get motivated by different things. So if the lower section was long and thick kind of a thing, bloated kind of a thing, then those people just love to uh, have good life. That's it. Some people want physical and practical stimulation. So if this area is long, so those people go for that. But out here, it appears that the top section is long. So these people are basically seeking mentally stimulation in their mental stimulation in their life. If they're mentally stimulated, everything is basically fine. If they are not mentally stimulated,